Hello, fellow humans. Chris here. So, today I wanted to talk about The Lion King. It's the holidays, and we typically watch a lot of movies during the holidays. And I was thinking about The Lion King, and specifically the end of The Lion King. When Simba returns to Pride Rock, he confronts his uncle Scar, who is the current king. However, he is not particularly favored by the masses, and he has some dissent, and there's some disputing about the validity of his being the king, particularly when Simba shows up. Simba shows up to claim his rightful place as the king, and Scar calls his claim, his birthright, into question based on some things that may have happened in the past concerning the death of his father, whose fault that was, who was responsible for it. And he uses this lie that Simba was responsible for his father's death to basically garner support amongst his people. Even the lionesses, who aren't particularly fond of Scar, uses that to his advantage to try to gain their support for ousting Simba. Finally, when cornered, Simba is in a predicament, and it looks like he's gonna be at the end of his day. But Scar confesses to Simba that he was in fact responsible for Mufasa's death, and this of course gives Simba the adrenaline rush, allows him to overtake Scar and take control of the fight. The tides turn around, Scar becomes the one cornered, and when facing certain death, or at least defeat, he turns on his supporters, the Hyenas, the ones who had been with him the whole time, the ones who helped him get into power for their own personal benefit. He throws them under the bus. He tells Simba that it was all them. It was their idea. They spearheaded the whole thing. They were the real enemies. And of course, he meets a very untimely demise because of this, because the Hyenas end up... they're not too happy about that. So it's a kind of a grim end for Scar at the hands of the Hyenas. This got me thinking about what's going on today. Now, it's not a perfect analogy because there are some details, but in general, it really got me to thinking about what's going on with Donald Trump and the Republicans. You have Donald Trump basically forcing the Republicans' hand, forcing the exposure of the fact that they don't want to give checks to middle class and low-income Americans. The Democrats had been pushing for $2,000 stimulus checks, and now Trump has come out and said he's going to veto anything that's not $2,000. They had a $600 stimulus package that they had gotten into agreement with Congress, and I just, it's incredible to me. It's the first time that I can really say, I think, that I'm on Trump's side over the Republican Congress. He's forced their hand. I don't know exactly what his intent was in doing that. I think that he's just sour grapes, and he wants to make McConnell look bad, and he's doing a pretty good job. He's forcing the issue. He's forcing the fact that it's Republicans that are stopping this from happening. His motives, I don't think, are altruistic. I don't think they're pure, but it's an interesting effect. And I don't know that it's a perfect analogy, because his hyenas, his supporters, are not going to turn on him. His supporters in Congress might, but that doesn't really matter anymore. He's not going to be president anymore. But he's kind of demonstrated how a villain particularly a spineless one, will cower at the last minute and try to align himself with who you would have thought was his enemies, in this case, the Democrats. He's taken the Democrat side to the peril of Republicans in Congress, and all that is accomplishing is just making them look like what they are, which is a party that doesn't care about helping middle income and low class Americans. I don't know what will come out of this. I know that he will cease to be president in less than a month. If he decides to run again in 2024, I can't imagine that he's helped his prospects by doing this, because again, he's forcing a line in the sand, and the Republican Party is finding itself split between Trumpists and between traditional McConnell Republicans. And I like to think that a positive outcome will come of this somehow, but I'm not sure, because right now we don't have the support in Congress to make it happen. But we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, I know I had said I was taking a break over winter break, but I had to get on and just comment on this because it's really incredible to me. He has found a way to alienate himself from everybody except for his most pure base that he's forcing Republicans to choose, basically. And I don't know if that's the greatest political strategy, but hopefully it leads to a positive outcome for Americans. That's the most important thing. Anyway, I hope you all had a pleasant, blessed, and peaceful holiday, and we'll be talking to you all again really soon. Thanks again for checking in on me, and Happy New Year if I don't see you before then, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks a lot, and remember, don't be afraid to question the consensus.